Hey you guys, how's it going? Bullion Bites coming to you with another video. This one we're going to be talking about dental gold versus gold bullion. What are the real differences? Why would you even want to have gold in your mouth? And is it worth, collecting? Is it worth getting a scrap, etc.? So if you don't know already, I am a dentist licensed in 3 different states and practicing currently in Tennessee. And uh, gold as a dental material is a really great one. So a little history behind that. It's one of the oldest materials that we use, aside from silver filling material, dental amalgam. And no pun intended, but it is still the gold standard by which everything gets compared to. Part of that is it's functionally and material-wise most similar to your enamel, your natural tooth structure. Um, this is, gold crown here that I made when I was in dental school. There's a really nice luster to it. And this is made out of 60% pure gold. When you first get it, it starts off in a little tab like that. Let's see if the camera can focus on that. There we go. So the W60 just indicates the particular alloy that it is. Oh, knocking stuff off my desk there. And what that really means is, that this camera will focus, it just means that, as you can see there, it's 60% gold, 20% silver, 1% zinc, a little bit palladium, copper, indium, and then a couple other different blends. This came from Adentalloy. This is the same, basic blend, if you want to say, or alloy that most dental gold is made out of. Now, we're not talking about grills, we're talking about actual dental crowns that are going to go in your mouth permanently. So when you get a crown, typically it's going to take 1 to 2 of these little tabs to make. Those are 1 pennyweight, so you're looking at about 1/10 of an ounce of gold at most for a single tooth. So if you go to scrap a bunch of gold and it comes back, and it looks like this, maybe it's worth scrapping, maybe it's worth collecting. These are just the crowns or the caps or the little sprues that it comes off as when you cast it. But this is where it's, I'm going to say, maybe profitable, maybe worth collecting. If it's, already been pre-separated from the tooth, or it's already just the crown itself. Now, if you get something like this, so you went to the dentist, you had one, grandma had one, uncle, whoever, and it comes back and you see that dry tooth that's still sitting in there, it's a real great laugh out of the guys at the coin shop when they get these in, because then they got to take this thing, they got to go outside and hit it with a hammer, break a bunch of tooth dust off, and you have to keep in mind this was in someone else's mouth, and now it's all dry dust, and they just smashed this thing and got it all stirred up in the air. I don't know about you, I don't like being around that stuff. I hate being around dry tooth dust from somebody else. So if it comes on a tooth like this, you got to get all that extra tooth material off of there, otherwise you're paying for tooth, not for the gold weight, or not for the alloy weight. So if it comes as a whole tooth, forget it. You're not going to really make more than a couple of bucks on it. If it comes as just the crown, just the cap portion like this, you're going to be in a better state, a better situation. And usually they're going to be in that 60% gold, roughly 14 karat or so ratio. And weight-wise, you're really looking at 1/20th of an ounce for these, or 1 pennyweight. That's the same as these tabs up here. So you're really only looking at, I'm going to say ballpark $60 worth of gold, and that's being generous with these. Now, if you happen to know a dentist that's trying to get rid of these, or you go to a pawn shop and you say, hey, you got a bunch of old gold teeth, I'll pay you, 50% of the, melt price for them, or 50% of the spot price for them. They might say, hey, take them off my hands. I hate having these things here. They make me sick. And, it's a great way to, if you're not squeamish, to make some money. Or, potentially stack some gold on the side. But they're not pure, just like, technically speaking, gold eagles aren't pure. They're 22 karat. But, it is something, if you're curious or you've ever wondered about that, wanted to give you some information there. Personally, I do have a gold crown on one of my molars. They're great material-wise. I would recommend it if you ever need to get a crown on a molar. Pursue or ask about, if there is a cost difference between getting a gold crown versus a ceramic crown. Most crowns nowadays are made out of zirconium, or basically the same thing that cubic zirconia is made out of. It's a very strong, very tough material. Looks like a tooth, but it's not going to stand up to the biting pressure. It's not as kind as on the natural teeth. It's very abrasive as a material. So that's something to just keep in mind. Wanted to give you guys that kind of information. If you have any questions about that, let me know. If you have any dental related questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments below. I cannot give you an official diagnosis over YouTube. That is my one caveat there. I can't tell you, oh yeah, it looks like you need this. That's not a diagnosis. I'm not your dentist. I'm just a guy on the internet right now technically giving you my opinion. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any comments, leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.